everybody. This is Stephanie Bennett in The Secret Place. I am here with you with this little book by Joyce Huggett. She is editor of the Exploring Prayer series, Finding God in the Fast Lane, and she's a Brit. I love those British friends that I have over there. I'd love to be over there a little bit more. She's from Surrey, across the pond, and she has been writing for a long time on this. She is expounding upon one aspect of Brother Lawrence's prayer, his teaching that we can practice the presence of God. So she, like him, encourages us to enjoy the wordless presence of God by switching from the intellect to the heart in our prayer, from our mind to our heart. And think about anything that you've learned in terms of like actually being able to apply it and walk in now. I'm sure that's gone from your mind to your heart. So as she encourages us to walk in this wordless presence of God by switching from the intellect to the heart, we do so not one time a week or one day a week or a couple times a week or once a year. And not that we ditch theology or thinking ever, but that we instead offer each task that we do, whether it is theology, whether it is study, whether it's an English paper, or something from your workplace, something that you're working on, that we offer each task to God and we walk through those tasks with Him. Richard Foster, of course, we've talked about several times in the past few years, talks about this as the with God life. I like to talk about it as withness, right? And the example that Huggett gives from this little book is when she was at a conference and what she observed there. She says this is on page 81. She says, I was attending a conference while I was thinking about this aspect of Brother Lawrence's teaching. I knew none of the people there, but one coffee break, my attention was attracted by two young people, a man and a woman. They were simply chatting, showing none of the usual signs that they were in love. But as the coffee break ended, a glance passed between them which conveyed mutual affection and admiration, and which told me that they were more than just good friends. The loving look lasted less than a second, but I had no doubt that throughout the lengthy seminar which followed, they would each be feasting on the adoration it silently and surreptitiously conveyed. This is the kind of loving glance we give God and we receive from Him. It needs scarcely interrupt what we are doing, but it will be enough to strengthen us for the next little lap of the journey. This is about remembering God in the moment, helping us to understand what Paul meant by pray. Pray without ceasing. Pray at all times. We can offer this little loving glance that Huggett talks about, that she draws from Brother Lawrence. And it's the kind that we give and that we receive from him as we walk in greater dimensions and awareness of his presence. It needs scarcely interrupt what we're doing, but it will be enough to help us, strengthen us in the next little lap of the journey. I think about sometimes the ways that we can remember him, and I think of all the, or at least some of the very natural physical ways that God has kind of built into our DNA, built into our bodies to remember him. Think about one, breathing. Okay, so you inhale and exhale, in and out, in and out. You're not having to practice breathing. It's just very natural, right? It's just in and out. It's built into our very existence. And so maybe sometimes, like, I think that the Lord created us that way. He created us with bodies like this to help us remember how natural it is just to turn to him. Lord, thank you. We're still working. Lord, thank you that you're with me. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and breathe in. It's these moments, these very special moments that strengthen us and kind of weave together all that we know intellectually, all that we feel in our hearts, all that we've applied in our walk with Him. It helps us to, like shores us up and girds us up. As well as just I'm thinking of another very natural thing, the natural desire to be with other people, the fun that we have with friends, the desire that we have for friends. That even if you're an introvert, that does not mean you don't have a desire to be with friends. It's just like maybe that you need more time alone than an extrovert. But I was thinking of a really special time I had this week. On Wednesday, I had a call from a dear friend in Wisconsin, and she has the most incredible laugh. It's what I would call infectious. Do you know anybody that has that kind of a laugh where they can laugh, and then like whatever they're laughing about, whether it's funny or not, like you just join in. It is contagious. And she called me, and we hadn't talked maybe 6 months or maybe even a year. And she's been through sorrow and some real trauma in the last months too. And yet she called me to talk about an author that she wanted me to listen to and read. And we were talking as I was driving, and whatever she was saying, she just kind of bounded into laughter. And I just fell into it with her and started laughing, and one thing led to the next, and almost everything we talked about for the next 20 minutes was framed by and imploded with laughter. It was so much fun. By the time I got home, I didn't know what I was happy about, but I had such a happy time laughing with my friend. Gosh, when we don't have that, and we haven't had that for a long time, I really, really miss it. This was a gift to me that she called. She didn't even know she was gifting me, but it was such a gift. Anyway, I'm talking about the very natural desire to laugh with others, to be with others, to befriend others, to spend time with friends, to converse with friends. Isn't that like an echo, or maybe another way of looking at it? It's a shadow of what we long for with our God. We have a longing. Sometimes we don't even know what it is. It's a quiet longing. And sometimes it starts to get really loud. The longing starts to bang on our inside like it's a drum, like an empty drum. You know, we need something, we don't know what it is, and it's conversation with God. It's walking in the oneness with our God. There's so many other things that we could talk about today. If I was talking to you for an hour instead of 10 minutes, we'd talk about other things, and I'd get a chance to hear about some of the very natural things that you know are shadows or even echoes of our God's fantastic design in us as human beings. Let's celebrate what it means to be a human, how holy it is to be made in the image of the living God. Yeah, we're messy. We live in an increasingly frictionless society. But let's not turn away from each other because it's messy. Let's look in each other's eyes and spend some time loving each other, appreciating the person that the other is, appreciating the person that God has created that faces you right now. Go find one of your close friends, find your spouse, find that girlfriend or boyfriend, find a teacher that you care about, find your mentor. Spend some time with them this week. Enjoy who God has made you. You are part of the beloved. Thanks for joining me in the secret place. This is Stephanie Bennett, aka Dr. B. So glad you came. See you next time.